This could be the best value Submariner Homage on the market today, and it is less than £50. To me, that's just absolutely insane. Welcome back to the channel, all you watch heroes and nerds, and today we're going to look at perhaps the best value Rolex Submariner Homage that you can pick up on the market today. Now, this watch comes courtesy of Steel Dive. I'll leave affiliate links in the description below, and there are a few stores that you can buy it from, and right now you can get this one on special deal as part of the AliExpress back to school sale at just £48.75. Now, outside of the sale, it's not as good a bargain. It is £55 to £65, but even as a non-sale price, that's still pretty good given all the specs on offer here. Now, I've long maintained that if you want to get the best bang for your bucks on AliExpress, Steel Dive are definitely one of the brands that you should be looking at, and it is no different here. So first, let's jump into the specs, because I believe or maintain that is going to be the selling point on this watch for most of you guys, because Submariner Homages, let's be honest, they're a dime a dozen. So getting something with good specs at a decent price is going to be preferable here. So let's jump into those specs. So to begin with, this watch is actually based on the newer maxi dial case variant of the Submariner. This is the model number SD1953. So just to put your mind at ease there, it's still quite wearable. You have 41mm in diameter, 48mm lug to lug, a respectable thickness of 13.5mm, and finally 20mm at the lugs. It's typical of a subby, and it wears exactly how you would expect it to wear. Further to this, Steel Dive, as usual, have packed this beauty full of value for money. We have sapphire crystal, 120 click unidirectional dive time bezel with ceramic insert. We also have a screw down crown, screw in case back that gives this watch 300 meters of water resistance, a solid 3-link bracelet with oyster style look, and a milled clasp with 6 holes of micro adjust. Now, finally, this watch is powered by the Seiko NH35, an absolute powerhouse and beast of a movement. It is reliable, rugged, and robust, and you do see this movement regularly in watches costing 10 times the amount as this. So you can call this really a top-line movement for a watch at this price point. Now, finally, just like the Captain Willard Homage that I reviewed on this channel and have owned quite a few versions of, this watch has insanely good lume for the price as well. So everything is kind of packed together. The only thing that this watch doesn't have that the likes of watches like Pagani Design have for a little bit extra is screw links and an on-the-fly adjustment, but I'd be happy to sacrifice those two things when you see the build quality and the lume and everything else that comes together for the Steel Dive design as a whole. So being honest, I find this watch incredibly hard to be negative about. There is so much going on here, so much packed into this watch for the price. It almost feels criminal to try and nitpick here, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. Firstly, you have to be okay with a no on-the-fly adjustment or screw links. If they are deal breakers for you, then yeah, go for the Pagani Design here, or go for another watch that has that. You may be paying more for that, but that's what you get when they try and cram all of those specifications in. Secondly, this is a homage based on the new maxi dial. Now, I'll be honest with you, the new maxi dial isn't my favorite variant of a watch, but it's still okay, and I don't mind how it wears on wrist. It's just not as good to me or as appealing to me as the old style Rolex Submariners. Now, if you do want the older look of the Submariners, then I would definitely steer you towards Laurier or Invicta. They have some great proportions there. However, the Invicta is a little bit thicker, but the specs are far more inferior, and you're paying around about the same price. And in terms of the Invicta, outside of sale times on Amazon, you will be paying slightly more. Finally, I'm going to say something else about this watch. The Cyclops is powerful. almost so much so that it is overwhelming and you can't actually tell the date properly on this watch. It's one of those things where actually you think to yourself, less is probably more here. They should maybe under magnify it, because it is hard to tell the time. You can see it on my wrist right now. What time is it? You can tell the time. What's the date? Maybe you can't quite tell. Maybe it's not as clear. Now, other than that, I have to say, the fully brushed bracelet and the brush case with the highly polished sides of this watch make it look more expensive than it actually is. It feels like good quality and that it's well made. I would have no problem whatsoever sticking this on the wrist and going for a swim or being rough with it. I feel that it is watertight and it is going to last. I think it would be able to live one hell of a hard life. Maybe not G-Shock hard, but I do think this one is going to be made to take a bit of a beating, and that's probably what I'm going to do if I keep it in my collection. Now, on the wrist, it wears just like a new Submariner. Absolutely no surprises there. Not bad by any means. It fits most wrists comfortably. Again, I would say there's not really a whole lot I can fault in this one. It looks like a Submariner. It wears like a Submariner. The specs are good. You know what you're going to get. Steel Dive in this area, especially when it comes to their dive watch homages, they just continue to impress. So, should you buy this watch? Well, yeah, absolutely. I would definitely say buy this watch. It is hands down a great deal here. You're getting amazing, you're getting so much bang for your buck with Steel Dive. I would absolutely recommend it to anyone who wants to give it a go. You think about it in this way. It's £48 at the moment in sale. There are Casios that I have bought in the past, and I'm sure that you've bought at home, that cost way more than £48. And I've been accumulating those Casios for years now. So this, in terms of a price equation, really just adds up. And as usual, Steel Dive seem to know how to make a good dive watch, especially at this price point. Now, 5 years ago, comparing Submariner Homages was all the rage. I know that it's died down now, but seeing this watch has kind of changed the game a little bit. And I wonder, and let me know in the comments below if you agree with this, if it's worth us comparing Submariner Homages again in 2024. Because I think now in the sub £100 category, there's a lot more choice out there and you can really get a fantastic watch on your wrist, especially a Submariner Homage for that price. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget, if you are interested in this watch, to click on the link to get you to AliExpress, and don't forget there is a back to school sale on there at the moment as well, so you might be able to find quite a few homage and non-homage watches on AliExpress that are much cheaper than they actually are. So don't forget that, guys, and obviously it supports the channel. I'm really grateful of it. And I will just say one more thing, which is take care everyone, and I will see you all in the future video.